Hi there. I recently hosted my first ever Nexty Media event in New York with my partners at VuePlanner, during which we talked to folks from across the creator meets media meets brand ecosystem. And so this week, we're turning highlights of that gathering into a special bonus podcast episode. We've got tons of insightful comments from the likes of Loomis Connor McKenna, Ian Schaefer from Assembly, Jamie Goodfriend of Creator Vision, Ali Parish from Horizon, and many more. We even talked to a real-life creator. So lots to get into, so let's get started.
And now it's time for Ali Parish, she's group director with Blue Hour Studios, and Jeremy Stewart, SVP and co-founder of VuePlanner. Come on up, guys. So, Ali, we talked about this. You kind of have lived the evolution of all the different ways that brands and agencies have sort of parked these budgets or handled this strategy. Maybe tell us like how that, how that has evolved for you in your career, and along the way, help us understand what Blue Hour is and why it's a distinctive part of Horizon and all that. So give us your journey a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So hi, I'm Ali Parish. I head up our account team at Blue Hour Studios here in New York. Blue Hour is the social content and influencer arm within Horizon Media. We started in 2018 or 2019. And, since then have really just seen the growth of the creator space in such an interesting way. And because we are, embedded and kind of born out of Horizon Media, that media integration, like you're saying, Mike, has been so interesting to see that evolution over time.
Have you seen clashing philosophies on that over time?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, there's going back to some of the measurement questions, and is there, one way that we should be measuring from the last panel up here? That's certainly something that we've seen where, that understanding from back in, the old days, maybe, we should be looking at it like a GRP is the standardization, right, to now there is that understanding that there is impact in breaking through in, really high views, things of that nature. I think has been really the biggest shift.
Jeremy, now you guys are not a creator ad tech company per se, but you play a role in helping brands navigate YouTube and find the right context. I guess is this an ask that you get to help them sort out how to buy the right creators and getting the right next messages? And could you see this? Is this something that is scalable over time in a way that we think about it?
Yes and no. So I'm Jeremy. I'm co-founder of VuePlanner. And so just a little bit of background there. We've been in the space for since 2018, trying to do measurement, suitability, contextual relevance on YouTube. So we didn't start out with the idea of scoring creator content. It was really just aligning relevant content with brand advertising. But recently, we've been getting more into the creator space because we have been getting a lot of requests of brands wanting to engage creators in their strategies. So the solutions that we try to provide are, can we align that type of content? How do we build a framework where it's repeatable, predictable for brands to understand what type of content is going to perform well? We've got some solutions that do predictive AI scoring on creative, and we've done that repeatably on creator content. Especially, we have a case study with Conagra from last year where they did 26 different influencers. And so when we started looking at that data with respect to creator content, understanding what those predictive scores were and how they correlated with YouTube performance, then we started understanding that, yes, there can be some level of standardization and ability to scale this content and try to find the right content.
And like with that Conagra example, how do they evaluate that kind of campaign? Does it get kind of lumped in with everything else they're doing on YouTube, which might be compared to television or more of a reach play, or is there's something distinctive that they do there that kind of unlocks the value of those kind of deals?
When they came to, this was something they had just done completely kind of separate. It was obviously it was for the brands that they normally advertise on, but they didn't really have much expectation, I don't think. And so when we saw the creatives, they were not creatives that you would normally see on CTV or standard. And they were very raw. Somebody just talking for 15 seconds about how they use bird's eye vegetables, and we looked at it and we're like, do you really want to run this on YouTube? And this wasn't what we were used to seeing. And so I think that they were a little bit hesitant. We did our predictive scoring. We told them these are the ones we think are going to, perform better from a brand lift perspective. It bore out, but they actually ran them all. And then I think they were pleasantly surprised that what they actually ended up with was, but it wasn't something that they were anticipating.
Right. One thing you hear this a lot, and I wonder if this is your experience. That I mean, every deal is different, every integration is different, right? But you hear about these calls that so-and-so creator will have where there'll be the social agency, the traditional media agency, the talent agency, some kind of intermediary, like 5 or 6 entities on the same kind of project trying to figure out the right execution. Is that something that's still happening? And is that something that is that a problem? Is that just like the way this is the nature of the industry is always going to be, or can we do anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so interesting. Over the years, we've seen that, influencer and creator content lives with different teams. Everyone kind of wants a slice of the pie. I think right now we're at a place where the integration of media, influencer, creative, and content overall is definitely a positive in terms of making sure that, at least for me and my team, all of those different teams are creating that brief up front together so that the ultimate creator content and the ultimate creator identification, is very integrated. It all speaks to the same thing. We're often also seeing that, can we think of media ideas up front when we think about, a specific talent to work with? So I think the more we can be integrated there and kind of speak that same language, just the better. And that's definitely what we've seen.
What do you both think about? Is there a way you're seeing efforts to standardize these kind of deals? YouTube's got this dynamic ad insertion product. You're seeing other companies trying to almost make an integration, like something that you can repeat. But I guess the danger there, or the challenge there, is that you lose the specialness of doing a really custom integration. But if you want to deal with 1,000 influencers, that's really difficult too. Like, can you do those things where they're still effective, and do it in the right way? Is that?
So the latest version of YouTube's Brand Connect, which is now called the Creator Partnerships Hub, is they've basically taken that connective marketplace and they've put it inside Google Ads for the first time. And so it's still, I think, in the alpha stage, but we've been using it for the last 3-4 weeks. And so you can really engage with. So there's over 3 million creators in the YouTube measurement, or the YouTube partner program. So there's a variety. I mean, there's more than you can ever imagine. But what's nice about it is when you do some simple searches, you can also see any given topic, any given brand, the authentic, non-branded stuff that influencers are actually talking and engaging brands. So you can partner on with them. You can promote stuff that they've already done that really does feel authentic, because you do want you don't want to lose that. So I think it's possible, but it is still a maze to try to figure out how do you get to those right influencers.
What do you think?
I would agree.
All right.
Yeah. Nothing major to add.
But is there a value, like, let's say that, because you've seen companies come along and say we can do like a standard brand mention and do it for thousands of creators at once, and that's closer to programmatic advertising than we've ever been, but it's not exactly the same thing. Are those worthwhile, or do you find that brands are not getting this? You're just getting quick mentions and not getting the real audience connection that the whole space is supposed to be so about.
Yeah. I mean, I think going into any creator content with a very clear goal and understanding that there are multiple roles that any of that content can play. There definitely is the, mass volume affiliate play that is going to make sense for some goals for some brands. But on the other hand, that authenticity, that, inserting a brand into, maybe it's an existing storyline that an influencer or a creator has, and maybe it's their own series. I think there's pros and cons to both. It's really about finding space for, how do we not put influencer in just one role and see that it has many? Yeah.
So, question for both of you: what is missing? What's on your list? If we want brands to really fully take advantage of this opportunity and be able to spend the dollars they're talking about, like what are we missing? Is it measurement? Is it infrastructure? Just more education? Like what's kind of for both of you? What are we missing here?
So I think it's definitely the like from the last panel, the standardization of what we're trying to measure. On YouTube, I think it's like 70% of creators do both short and long-term video. And so there is an opportunity there to get, traditional types of measurement, but then you have to understand how does that then apply to shorts or whatever else they're doing. But having the ability to get to some sort of a lifetime value of a creator of, can we continue to go back to the same creators? Are we able to score their predictive or predictably score their creative so that we know over time? Because I think that historically it's been go find a creator or a few and on a specific, and it's the frameworks and the the ability to scale that has been very difficult. So I think that's moving in the right direction. And as soon as we get that, whatever that metric is that we're all agreed upon, I think we're getting closer.
What about you? What's in your wish list?
I would say, I think definitely that measurement integration across the board is super key. Being able to, just better tie the longer tail impact of any creator content. We can say, okay, this piece of content got so and so many organic views. It really, broke through for the brand. That's great. But what does that do for it, over time? I think that is the biggest question. That's really the biggest question of all advertising.
Yes. Before I let these folks go, anybody have any questions for Ali or Jeremy? All right. You're both off the hook. Thank you so much, guys. Conor's coming back up, and he's going to talk to Arthur.
Thank you.
Thanks again to my partners at VuePlanner and all the folks that attended my recent Next to Media event in New York. We have lots more to bring you, so please hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time for more on what's next in media. Thanks for listening.